Good evening again. I'll stop a little bit about 10 minutes earlier because last week some women wanted there should be some questions, so we'll leave time for some questions. I want to address this week the subject of waiting between eating milchiks and fleishiks, which is a very important subject in when it comes to children, when it comes to food, things which is baked together, etc. I want to discuss this in the Kiddush. Now, first, eating once a person ate fleishiks regarding eating milchiks afterwards. The Gemara says that if a person ate milchiks, if a person ate fleishiks, basar, he cannot eat afterwards gvinna. That means cholov, milchik stuff. If he ate cheese, he could eat afterwards, after milchiks, he could eat meat. So is the Gemara. The Gemara tells us that Mar Ikva, one of the Tanoim, said that my father was very pious, that once he ate fleishiks, he didn't eat the whole day. That day he didn't eat milchiks. But I am not so frum, so to speak, and I wait till the next Seder. That's what Mar Ikva says. Now, by the way, this minig not to eat on the same day milchiks and fleishiks is this the minig of the Arizal. He didn't eat the same day. And there were some rabbis, Polish rabbis, which also they didn't do this. They were machmer and shvuos, which they had to eat the fleishig gesuda, because that's a mitzvah to eat flesh. But there's a minig to eat milchiks. So they were makam the minig by using in their tea a milchig lef, a milchig spoon. But akaponam, we don't have this minig. And basically, the Gemara says that he he was waiting till after other Suda. Okay, now what is the reason that we wait 6 hours? The Gemara says Mesida Lasida. But Pashas, we could say that from the morning till at night, that was the time of 6 hours. But we have a Machloekes Rishonim of Rashi and the Rambam. What is the reason that we have to wait after meat? We have to wait before we eat milchiks. According to Rashi, is because when you eat meat, the meat gives out a fat. A fat flavor gives out. When you eat, there's still 6 hours. There's still a fat, a flavor, a taste which comes out. So if you're going to eat a milky food, basically, it's as if you're going to eat milchiks and fleishiks in the same time, because you still have the flavor of flesh, and you eat now milchiks. So therefore, that's the reason why we don't eat, we have to wait 6 hours. Because 6 hours, it still have the flavor. The Rambam gives a different reason. The Rambam writes, because we are afraid it's going to be pieces of meat. Meat has the tendency to stick between the teeth. And therefore, 6 hours, meat which is between the teeth, it's still considered meat. After 6 hours, it's as if considered digested. So therefore, you have to wait 6 hours. So we have a machlokes. What is the reason? There's ramifications on the reason. There's a difference. For instance, what is the chilik between the two reasons? According to Rashi, because there is a flavor which comes out from by eating it. So therefore, if a person takes a piece of meat, which probably used to be common, but maybe today's days also common, I don't know, that they used to have. You want to give meat for a child, but it's very hard. So the mother used to chew it, make it soft, and then used to give it for the child. So according to this, he didn't eat the meat. He only chewed it. So therefore, since he didn't eat it, according to Rashi, there's not a problem. Right away, he could eat milchiks. According to the Rambam, when the Rambam says, I'm afraid between the teeth is going to be pieces of meat, therefore you have to wait 6 hours, because basically you chew the meat. That's one reason which the Rambam is a bigger machmer of Rashi, because if you chewed it. Then there's another reason which Rashi said.
So what the Rambam saying that it's going to stay in your teeth?
Yeah.
So what if you brush your teeth or floss it?
The Rambam says we are still afraid that it will be a tiny piece which you won't realize or you didn't take it out, and it's still considered meat, and you're eating together meat and flesh. Now, although you're right, you can flush it out, but Chazal mishmach kechalikim, they didn't make differences. So therefore, till 6 hours, meat is still considered meat, has a shem meat, and therefore you cannot eat it.
But really, chicken doesn't get stuck.
But in so much me, as I mentioned last week, Chazal said chicken and meat has the same thing. All the chimras which we had for meat, we have in chicken. We saw last week all the chimras, although it's only a drabonon. Afa peken, there's no difference. What is another difference? If a person ate chicken or meat, and after 6 hours he feels a piece of meat in his mouth, according to the Rambam, that after 6 hours it's as if it is basically cold digested, so you don't have to take it out. Even it's still in your mouth. You wake up in the morning, you have a piece of meat, you can eat the milchiks, no problem. But according to Rashi, which Rashi says the problem is not that after 6 hours, the problem is because it gives out a taste, and not after 6 hours it is as if it's dissolved, so it's still considered basar. So if you have a piece of meat, then you have to take it out, even in the morning. So there's the machlokas and there's the chalikim halacha. But lamaisa, the machaber, the shulchan aruch pastors, we take both shittas, and therefore we are machbar like the Rama and the Rashi, and therefore you have to wait 6 hours, even if you only chew it for a child, you didn't swallow it, and even after 6 hours, if you find a piece of meat, you have to take it out, and you cannot eat milchs together with that because it's not considered digested. And this is what we are nemer un aluch lamasa, that both chimras. But again, this is only when we say you chewed something for a child. You took a piece of meat, you chewed it, you give it for a child, although you didn't eat it. But if a person tasted a piece of meat, for instance, a person wanted to see if the meat is salty, yeah, he tasted it, he just put it into his mouth, and he just wanted to see if it's salty. According to both shittas, you don't have to wait. Or if a person put it in his mouth, a piece of meat, didn't start chewing it, right away, I don't want to eat it because I don't want to get fleishiks or whatever. And she takes it out right away. In such a case, according to both shittas, she doesn't have to wait. Because according to Rashi, she didn't swallow it. There's no 6 hours which comes the taste. And according to the Rambam, there's no meat which is, because right away she chapped. And this can happen. Sometimes a person's by bris milah, by bris, and they serve meat. And then she chaps, all day I'm getting fleishiks. And she started eating him. She takes it out. In such a case, solids, right? The what?
It only works with solids, because let's do chicken soup, then you could say the same thing. I'm not chewing on chicken soup.
But chicken soup has a taste. We're going to get to a tafshil shabbat. We're going to get soon to that halacha. But in such a case, it's only basically a taste, and therefore it's not a problem.
Even though you're swallowing it, you're going to swallow something.
No, you didn't swallow it. If you swallow it,
not solid, but your saliva is just.
Yeah, if you taste something, there is some sort of
if you taste something, but if you didn't eat it. It won't. It will. Yeah, you took it right away out. No, if you take it, if you swallow it, that's a problem. Okay. No, you started putting it in the mouth, and before starting doing something, you took it out. So all those you felt the taste, but that's not going to stick 6 hours for you, and therefore just rinse your mouth in such a case. But again, it's far-fetched. Tzi'irim it should happen because usually we don't have this. But again, I'm just bringing it out because you should understand that the kiddush hadvurim, the two shittas, and it can happen, such a thing. That somebody put it on the smoke, right? I took it out, I didn't chew it. In such a case, it will not be a problem.
What about like sauce like a beef sauce, but you don't eat the beef?
We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this. Tafshil shabos. We're gonna get to it later. Not soon. But in any case, if a person finds after 6 hours a piece of meat, as we mentioned before, you have to take it out because it's common. A person wakes up in the morning and he feels before he eats breakfast, if he eats something, a piece of meat is in his mouth, he should take it out, and he doesn't have to wait 6 hours again because it is as if it is digested according to the Rambam, and you throw it away. Do not swallow that piece. Even though if you're going to swallow it, you're not going to basically have to wait 6 hours. That you don't have, because such a tiny piece. But after you can, do not do it. And just take it out, and then you're good to go, and you can eat milchiks.
And that's according to both shittas.
This is according to both shittas, yeah. Another thing is the poskim say, it is only a thing when a person after 6 hours, if a person knows that he has pieces, or he knows he has a tendency, if a person has braces, person has things in the mouth which basically sticks, he should make sure to floss his mouth even after 6 hours, because according to Russia, after 6 hours it's still considered basar. But a normal person which doesn't have anything which should say that basically that he has a problem, basar should stay in his mouth, he doesn't, once he goes 6 hours, he doesn't have to be concerned. He doesn't have to start thinking, being OCD, do I have a piece of meat in my mouth? 6 hours, it's fine. A person has braces, a person has something in his mouth, fillings I wouldn't say, and he knows that there's something else, then he should floss his mouth. Other than that, 6 hours is good to go. Now, how do you calculate 6 hours? Now, we know, according to most halachas in the Torah, when there's something to do with hours, doesn't mean an hour of 60 minutes. It's called shuas manis. Most halachas in the Torah is like that. It's called shuas manis. Means we take the day, you divide it in 12. So, for instance, the day starts by the Netzachama, ends by the Shkia. Now, winter, the day is only 8 hours. Summer, the day could be 14 hours, 13 hours, whatever. So you take these hours, you divide it in 12, and that's an hour. So winter, an hour could be 50 minutes. Summer, an hour could be 70 minutes. And that's always in the Torah. All the halachas in the Torah, it goes through as manis. Manis means a timely hour. It's not a 60-minute hour. That's but when it comes to 6 hours over here, when we talk about 6 hours waiting after meat, 6 hours means 6 hours of 60 minutes. So there's no different winter and summer. Always winter, you don't have to wait. You cannot eat earlier milchiks, and winter, summer, you don't have to wait longer. If you have to wait 6 hours, shuas manis, the other way, sometimes you'll have to wait 7 hours, because an hour is 70 minutes. Chazal say over here we say it's 60 minutes, and when 6 hours of 60 minutes, that's shuas manis. That's you have to wait. But you have to wait 6 hours. There are some poskim which want to say it's 5 and something, 5.5, 5 and a little bit, and there are Tzanzeruf. He was Michael Azizukman. Once it's in the 6th hour, you could be Michael. But according to most Achronim say it's not like that. We have to be Machma 6 hours, fully 6 hours. It's interesting that Rebbe Rashab and the Rebbe speak about this, and they say we are Machma should be totally 6 hours, and we are not making less than that.
Why do people do 3 hours then?
We're going to get to this. Yeah. That's why I said we'll make the answers in the end, because usually everything is going to be addressed. If a person knows he finishes, it went through 5.5 hours for sure. He doesn't know 6 hours. That means we said 6 hours, but sometimes you forgot to look on the watch right away when you finished eating. So you have a suffix. If it's 5 hours and 50 minutes, or it's 6 hours, in such a case, zung the poiskim, such a case, if you're not sure, not you should pretend you're not sure, but if you're not sure, and at least you know it's almost 6 hours, in such a, for sure, it means you looked at the clock later, but you didn't realize once you finished, then you could be lenient such a thing. But other than that, you have to look at the watch and see 6 hours, and only then eat it. Now there's another halacha. Even if you wait 6 hours, it has to be a different suda. Like we mentioned the Gemara. After the Marikva said, I only wait from one suda to the other suda. So even though you wait 6 hours, in the same suda you cannot eat milchiks and fleishiks. That means if a person goes to a dinner, or he goes to a chasana, which takes 8 hours, a chashvayrisha suda was for 7 days. Yeah, he washed in the morning, he ate a fleishig meal, and he was dancing and he was schmoozing or whatever. 7 hours later, no menu comes on the table, blintzes. You cannot eat it. Although it's 6 hours already from when you ate fleishiks, but still in the same suda, you cannot eat. You have to bench, and then you can eat it. Since you don't have to wait 6 hours till the end of the suda. You have to wait 6 hours from when you finishes eating meat, but it cannot be in the same suda. And that's an important thing. I don't know, agam, today's day, I don't think it's too practical. I don't know. You have such a big sudas, but
I
what?
think you can come up on Shavuos that some people eat milk and then flesh it, and then
Yeah.
realize that they have to bench in between.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I have.
I don't know for sure.
And that would be vice versa.
Yeah, situations where
And that would be vice versa. If you eat a milchige suda and you wait an hour, this could happen. If you ate a milchige suda and you wait an hour, you didn't bench, or you didn't say burden fushes, and then you want to eat now a fleshig suda, you can't. It always has to be, that's for sure, the first thing has to be a separate suda. Now, above to that, has to be 6 hours and another suda. And bench. Now, if you didn't wash, it has to be burden fushes, but it has to be a cut off from the old suda, it cannot be in the same suda. A person ate at night, ate meat, it was late suda, or chasana, and in the morning, he wakes up in the morning, he wants to drink his coffee. It's not 6 hours, but he slept in the meantime. Now there's a Chassam Sofer, which Chassam Sofer wanted to say that since the digestive system works much better, much faster when you sleep, which is that's the Metzias. So therefore, he wants to say you don't have to wait 6 hours because you slept also. So therefore, you don't have 6 hours. And Chassam Sofer writes that he went back on his psak because one night he ate fleishiks and he didn't sleep too much. Chassam Sofer became the Chassam Sofer because he was learning half a night. And he woke up in the morning and he made a coffee and wanted to take the milk and pour in for his coffee. It was less than 6 hours, but he slept and the milk spilled. So the Chassam Sofer gesucht for du Zeitman that I want to make a killer and from him I'm nishmaskam, and therefore it was choiz, and it says even a person sleeps, you could not be Michael in such a case. So, but we could use this, we're going to see by choili, by other things, we're going to see we could use it in some rare cases. But other than that, we are not going to use. So if at night somebody eats fleishiks, when he wakes up in the morning, if it's not 6 hours, he cannot eat milchiks. They say a story, the Imre Chaim from Visionitz used to have long tish, Friday night, a tish till 3, 4 in the morning, like a zvadas, till in the morning, they used to eat meat. So, but the Polish Chassidim, they give out shrine from his food. So there was one chos didn't take shrine. He didn't take from his meat. So he asked him, he says, I want to drink my coffee in the morning. So the Imre Chaim says, a person is a baltava, no, watching here, but a ausgerechnete baltava, that means a calculated baltava that you're not going to eat at night because you want to eat the coffee in the morning. That's already too much. So a kapunam, but in any case, it doesn't help sleeping at night. Okay, so now she brought up 3 hours. Now the Remo brings down, the Remo is the poisig of the Ashkenaz, and he brings down that there are some people which do wait only 1 hour after meat. After meat 1 hour, and then they could eat fleishiks. And then they could eat milchiks. And the Remu says, this is the minig in our Medina. That means the Remu is in Kruka. That was the minig in Kruka. You wait only 1 hour, and then they ate fleishiks. But the Remu himself said, why? What was the concept? Because they say that misuda lesuda doesn't mean 6 hours. Although then you used to have from one meal to other meal at least 6 hours. They want to say misuda lesuda doesn't mean 6 hours. And you could basically, it could be, once you bench, you could eat milchiks already. Zukt of them the Remu. So therefore 1 hour is a pshura. Sometimes in between 1 hour, it's enough. Zukt of the Remu, and he adds on, and some people wait 3 hours. Now, in other words, like this, the Remu brings the shita, but the Remu himself says that lemaisa hamadakdikim is we don't take all these killers. Although in Remu's times in Kruka that was the minig. Remu says that we should not go according to this with 1 hour, and we should go 6 hours. And the Primigum writes and that's the minig, and that's how we do. And if you do otherwise, you're poeretz gator. That means the Achronim say we don't accept this thing of 1 hour. Only we're going to see when we could accept it, but no such things on 1 hour. You have to wait 6 hours. Now in Holland, as of today, they wait 3 hours. That's their minig, and that's still the minig akapunam. But again, that's a minig only there. Whole Klal Yisrael, Svardem, Ashkenazim, all Klal Yisrael today's day is the Nikida, as we say, that you have to wait 6 hours and you cannot make any leniency even by bosser off, even by chicken, which is not only a drabon, as we mentioned previous shiurim. You always have to wait 6 hours. And you cannot wait not 3 hours, and avada not 1 hour. But
because if they did it like that for a while in his place,
yeah,
it's fine. Made it suddenly not okay.
Oh, because the Mechaber doesn't bring this minig. The Mechaber says 6 hours, and this is the Rishonim hold that Mesida L'Sida means the time from Sida L'Sida, which is 6 hours. Now the minig, we know always a minig is stronger than basically some kind of halacha. So since we have Rishonim which are giving the explanation, Mesida L'Sida means not in the same Sida. So that was the minig. But the Ramo himself says, don't go according to our minig, and you should go according to the halacha, which is 6 hours. So therefore, although in that time in Kruki that was a minig, today's day there's no such a minig. Again, I mentioned only in Holland. As of today, I heard there's a minig of three hours. I heard somebody told me, some yekas wait 3 hours. But for 1 hour, there's no such thing. Nobody should wait. This minig, which the Ramo only said that was the minig. So, but the Ramo himself says, don't go according to the minig. And the thing is that the later Achronim, like the Pri Megudim, which one is the biggest poiskim by us, Ashkenazim, he says, don't do it. And if you're going to do it, you're Poretz Geder. So you don't want to play around with the Poretz Geder because it's a harsh thing. But we are going to use it. We're going to use this 1 hour. We're going to use it by a choila. For instance, a person which is sick. Now, I'm not talking about a person which is sick, totally sick, because then everything is mitter. I'm talking choile sha'ayin baskuna, which needs the milk. A person which needs the milk. In such a case, we will say he or she could wait an hour and she can eat it. In the same zugend achroinom, that means if they need the milk, it's not just because I'm sick. If they need the milk for their health, even choile sha'ayin baskuna. And the same state in the achroinom, a person which gave birth, the first 30 days, if she needs the milk for her health, in such a case, she has to wait only 1 hour. Or a person which is nursing, and she needs it for nursing, for the milk, in such a case, if she needs it, you could rely on the poiskim, because after all, the Ramo brings down such a poiskim. So although our minig is not like that, and the Ol Achrim, so we don't go, but you could use it by choili, we could use it by yoldas, by muberes, by manekes. By these things we could use it, because after all there's such a shita. Now what's doing about children? What's doing about kids? Which is a question which we have constantly. And I want to address it now. You have a child which once he ate supper and once he has some milk bottle. Or not necessarily, or even not. He needs milk. Is that their guidelines which the Achronim write. And I'm going to give the guidelines according to the Aravlando of Moshe Lando from Bnei Brak, which is one of the Lubavitcher Poiskim, how he how he went, and this is how usually I pass him the same also like that. Now the thing is like this: a child till 2 years old, you don't have to wait nothing. You wait, you make sure, you should make sure at least wash his mouth, because one of the things which the Gemara says, that even if you don't wait, at least you have to wash your mouth. So at least make sure, at least you shouldn't have BN. That means you shouldn't have BN physical meat. Till 2 years, then basically nothing what you have to no problem. From 2 years till 3 years, you should wait. Over here, a 2-year boy, you can explain, or a girl, you can explain that we don't eat melachis flesh together. Then they say you should wait something. Wash his mouth, wait something. Not even an hour. But at least give him some kind, because you should start giving him in his brain that we don't eat melachis flesh together. When it comes to a 3-year-old boy or girl, by the 3-year-old, then we say that over here you have to be mechanech a child, because the halacha is chinuch. We know chinuch of positive mitzvahs is by 6 years old. That's why by 6 years old, which there's all the positive mitzvahs, you have to be mechanech. Yeah, all the shakal lilaf, kiddush, havdalah, child. Although a child can eat before kiddush, can eat before havdalah, but the you have to be mechanech him that he should make kiddush or havdalah before he goes to sleep, or at least tomorrow, next day in the morning. All the positive mitzvahs 6 years old. But the negative mitzvahs is serum to avoid, shouldn't eat something or whatever. Zung the Achronim starts from 3 years old. So from 3 years old, the Achronim say, you should wait an hour. So again, we're coming back to the hour which I mentioned before. Once you have an hour, since we have a Ramu, so 3 years old, then you should wait an hour. Again, if you could wash his mouth, that will be ideal. And that could be till he's 6. Till a child is 6, if he waits an hour, then it's fine. Now again, I want to just make it clear. Whatever I say, the age, that's only if he makes a tantrum and he wants it. And he doesn't eat, if you could avoid it, you could give him something else. You have to be a mechanech. Even you should wait. But I'm talking about, you have children, which, they ate supper and they're making this in the crib or whatever in the bed and they're crying. So over there it comes in this, that means under 2 years old, nothing. From 2 to 3, a drop. 3 years old till 6, wait 1 hour. It's good if you make notes because the thing which I have constantly this question. 3 to 6, wait 1 hour. From 6, start waiting 3 hours that she mentioned before. The other Dominic 3 hours. 7 years old, wait 4 hours. 5 years old. 7 years old, wait 4 hours. 8 years old, 5 hours. From 9 and up, you should be a mechanech. You should wait 6 hours. 9 years old, you should wait 6 hours. And again, we are only talking when a child, you cannot get away with it. Now, it's a bit... what is the issue?
It's just, no, it's so interesting, because to me, it's like, I don't know, since my kids are 2, it's, no, you cannot.
Yeah,
okay, so exactly. So that, I wanted to finish this thing. Now, only this thing is talking about from which there's no option. Other than that, the Achronim itself say that, again, we're mechanech the children, but sometimes at 2 years old, he's making a tantrum, and he's not going to sleep, he doesn't want to eat. So we should know you could be Michael. Now, if you want to be Yikiv Adinisar, Kamivin, I'm telling you the halacha. What?
It's called discipline. You're just like, no.
Good.
Sounds
Very,
simple.
very nice.
It's
But
not simple. If you have a Felicia lunch and you're in the store and they want yogurt, a little 2, 3-year-old, no, it's not so simple. If they take it and start eating it, I just look the other way and say, okay.
yeah. Now again, I made it clear again.
Right.
It is in a case which you cannot avoid
Right.
it. All the achronim, which more or less this years which I get is other achronim also a little bit more or less the same, a little changes, but all of them write that in a case when a person has no choice, then you could be lenient till a child is 9. But again, in such a case, you have to try as much as you can. But again, there are some people which will not eat. I'll give you a marshal. Which again, when it comes to chinuch, every parent should understand he himself how to go about it. But I want to make clear the guidance which the poskim say, and when a person needs it, should take it off, should take it. But again, if you could be mechanech, that's the best thing, and this should be always not only by melchings of fleishes, but everything. That's the halacha. That's the way how we do. That's the way how Shulchan Aruch says. It's not like she said. It's not that easy, and not always you can do it. So therefore, I gave this kind of things.
Can you just clarify when you say wash the mouth out, just a drink is enough?
Any drink. We don't want that it should be be'en, a flesh
Okay,
be'en.
so giving them a sip of
You
water.
get a sip of water, that should be enough. Although the shtifa which we have, which I don't want to go in because we don't go to the salacha, but in the Shulchan Aruch when it says shtifa, that means you have to eat a piece of challah and drink something, 2 things. But since we are talking about children, since we are talking about they wait anyways an hour, so we're not, or wait a little bit, that should be fine.
So from 6 years old?
From 6 from 6, again, when you have no choice, in 3 hours, 7, it should be 4 hours, 8 hours, 8 years, 5 hours, and from 9, it should be 9 hours in any case.
So a 3-year-old, if they want, you just wash out their mouth. You don't have to worry.
3 years out, again, I've said we should 1 hour.
Right.
1 hour.
But I'm saying you don't have to say, oh, we can wait a little longer. Just let them
If you could, again, this is what I'm saying. I made it clear again.
Right.
If you could push it, that means it's not important. We are talking, the Chroim say it's important when a child needs it. Or
Right. I hear you.
again, it's very hard to give klulam what means important. Just because he goes on the nerves of the mother and she want to get him over the bag, that doesn't mean it's very important.
Right, and then you have all the other sisters saying you have to wait.
Exactly, and this is always.
If I say it's okay, then it's okay.
Exactly. If you say it's going, the sister will follow. So again, in Hilchas Chinuch, we can give a different shir. There's a lot to talk about that. But I want to give the clearness of the halacha. The clearness of halacha. Now, how, what, where, and when, everybody has to decide what. And there's a lot of people which, when a child is 3 years old, they're going to wait 6 hours. With Baruch Hashem, if you could enforce it, that it should be. But sometimes a child needs it. He needs it for his health. He needs it for his, he's not eating anything. He ate something, a nick, and that's about it. He doesn't need a supper. So he's going to go sleep at night. Then you have to decide how to go, when to go. And again, it's a very important thing to see that the siblings, how they will look at it, how they take it, you have to take this in consideration too. But again, I'm giving the halacha, and the Heilige Chinuch should everybody discuss with the husbands how to go about it. But again, we have to know what halacha is and what chinuch is. A person ate fleischiks. And by mistake, he took a milchige thing and made a bracha. What should he do? Was no loch. I remember when I had small children, there was a frum doctor in Monsey, which his name was Dr. Gdeli. So usually I didn't go to the doctor together with my child. Baruch Hashem, the mother went. But I remember once I went to the doctor, and he was a Talmid Chacham. So he says, Rabbi, I have a question. Somebody made a bracha on after he ate meat. What should he do? He made a bracha on something milchiks. What should he do? Should he eat? Or it's 6 hours? Or should he say Baruch Hashem Kohen Chizot, Baruch Levatol? And what's the halacha? The halacha is, if it's within the hour, you should say Baruch Hashem. You should, even if you made a bracha, say Baruch Hashem. If it's after 1 hour, in order not to make a bracha levatol, eat a tiny drop. It shouldn't be a bracha levatol, because a bracha before doesn't have to be excised. It has to be just a drop. You should have any taste.
That's the same bracha.
The what?
Can't you eat something that's the same bracha?
This goes into halacha Rebbe Sanhanem if it was in front of you, or if it goes into halacha Rebbe Sanhanem, then yes, you could do it. But if not, so it cannot be something else. Okay, so we spoke now eating milchiks after fleischiks. Now, what's doing about eating meat after milchiks? You ate a milchik yisuda. What do? Now, if you look in the Gemara Bapashtas, in the Gemara, if you ate milchiks, you rinse your mouth, you eat something. This is what I mentioned before. You have to eat. That means a piece of challah, or eat something which basically cleans your mouth. And then you have to drink something in order to, that's called haducha ishtifa. Both you have to do. And you can eat fleischiks. This is according to the Gemara. But Lamaisa, the Zohar writes that, with the poskim bring down the Zohar writes very harsh if a person eats fleischiks after milchiks, if it doesn't weigh in the same suda, and if it doesn't weigh shata chuda. The Zohar says the Lashon, shata chuda. What does it mean, shata chuda? But Pashas we could say, shata chuda means the same time. So there are some which say, you don't eat together, you wait half an hour. And this is a lot of people today's day wait only half an hour, because they say the Zohar means shata chuda, doesn't mean shata ashu, doesn't mean an hour, it means a while. Half an hour is also enough. And this is a lot of people which basically have this minig. But again, b'pashtas v'malein the Zohar, shata chuda means an hour, and that's our minig. The minig Chabad, we all know that we wait an hour after we eat milchis, we wait an hour till we eat fleischiks.
But is half an hour good enough?
No. According to our minig, no. According to other minig, yes. According to our minig, no. And that will be also if you want to eat chicken after, because I remember I said chicken and meat has all the same halacha. Although it's only a drabonon, even when you cook it together, we don't make any chalikim, and always we say it is. You have to wait. So again, 6 hours after you eat fleischiks, and 1 hour after you eat melachix. Yeah.
Yeah, just have a question. Some people wait a half an hour, right?
Yeah.
So, isn't the whole reason why they wait, like, till the body, like, processes and everything? So why do we wait an hour?
By the way, now this has nothing to do with the processing, with the digestive system. This doesn't go with that. This is because the Zohar says, the Zohar. I looked into the Zohar. It's very, very harsh. The post can bring it down. That if a person eats with Besida Chuda, B'Shata Chuda, then the 40 days you don't accept the tefillas and the Malach Chabula. You don't want to know what it says over there, so you don't want to play around with these things. Has nothing to do with it. The Zohar says like this, and the post can accept it. So therefore, this is how we do, and that's the meaning of.
I guess what you're trying to say is probably like if there's different minhagim, if some like from people do end up waiting half hour or an hour.
That's what I'm asking.
Why? How is that okay?
But it's the same thing like inflation. Some people are only waiting 3 hours.
So if some people are waiting 3 hours, what made that okay?
Why are we waiting 6?
No, again, we're waiting 6 because all the poskim write the B'Yosef with all the poskim paskin that when the Gemara says Mesida Lasida means 6 hours because the Sida from one Suda to other Sida used to be 6 hours. So there's the pashas of according to most Rishonim. Mesida Lasuda means the time when a person has breakfast, they didn't eat 3 meals. It's a new phenomenon. 3 meals. They used to eat 2 meals. What? 3 meals is a new phenomenon.
No, it's just that let's say people in Holland that are doing this still, they're from.
They're from.
That was my question.
So it's like they're still waiting 3 hours.
Yes. So what's the question?
How is
that was my question.
How they're doing it and they're from.
Yeah.
So
and
why
it's 3 hours.
and that's considered okay?
Right.
No, it's considered okay because they have such a meaning.
Right,
again,
that's the question. Why do they have it?
Because
the body's fine with that and they're from. So then why? Yeah. Why would we have
again. We're looking at the Gemara. The Gemara tells us Mesuda Lasuda. What does it say time?
Right.
Now the Machlokes of the Rishonim, how long it should be. Most of the Rishonim see Mesuda Lasuda means the time from one Sida on the Sida, and that is the reason that we're 6 hours. Now I remember the first shiur which I gave. I mentioned such a thing like this. You should understand how Psak works. Psak works like this. There's a Shulchan Aruch, which we are bound to Shulchan Aruch. But the Shulchan Aruch itself will say, in such a case, an extreme case, or a choyle, how could a choyle be Michael? That is, we always have, when we find epis ashita in the poiskim, which they are lenient, we going to accept that when there's a real good reason. The Shulchan Aruch itself, which passes not like that shita, he's going to take it. It's going to be mitzaraf 2 shittas. Yeah, this is how psak works. Bechlal. You can ask always, how does it go work? Olam psak. Olam psak goes when you have a shaila. Not everything says in Shulchan Aruch, but you have to take what you learned and then you have to apply it. Well, how does it go with this? Now, over here you have another shita rishonim. You put it together, then you can be lenient. So we have most of the Rishonim say it's 6 hours, and this is what the Shulchan Aruch passes. This is what the Shulchan Aruch passes. Now, if you had a minig of mukam, that minig of mukam was they rely on that poiskim. For instance, how could we pass them one way and the Svardim another way? There's no 2 Torahs. How does it go? They follow different Rishonim. They follow the Svardik Rishonim. We follow Ashkenazi Rishonim. So, and we are bounded to the Ashkenazi Rishonim. And they are bounded to the Svardische Goyim. So if a person had, even his Ashkenaz, but in his Mukam, their Mukam, that was the minig there was Mekibel. So we are not going to tell him to change the minig. Now again, today's day, all the Ashkenazim wait 6 hours. Even you're going to find, like I mentioned, in Holland, but you ask, how could it be? Because they have Rishonim which say that you could, and in their place, that Rishon was the poisik. For instance, in Yemen, in Taiman, the poisik was the Rambam. But all other world, so they passed a little bit answer than us. Because their poisik is the Rambam. So they're going to go to the Rambam. Well, the Rambam has different than the Rashba or the other poiskim. So we going according to our poiskim, they're going according to their poiskim. So if in Holland, for instance, there was one of the Rishonim who lived there, and his opinion was 3 hours is enough, and that was the minig. We are not going to say, you're doing something which is awesome. But we cannot rely. Can we eat arba, haishrek? How do you say it in English? grasshopper. Could we eat a grasshopper? Nobody in the whole world would eat grasshopper only in Yemen. Because they passed according to... Yeah, that's right. But all our postim say that we cannot eat it for reasons. But the Yemenite could eat. I cannot eat by Yemenite. But he can eat it. He's not over for Issa because his...
If you move to the place, it doesn't make a difference.
If you what?
If you move there. Like if you decide
This is a big complicated halacha.
What if you're not following like the Ashkenazi way or the Sephardi way, or you're just like you don't have a type?
There's such a thing. You either Ashkenaz or Sfard. You know where your shala could come? It's a nice shala, which in our journal, I have a halachic journal which we give out twice a year. We had a shaila. What is a ger? A convert. Is he Ashkenaz or Sfard? A very good question. So the chruz aposkim is depends what he was makabel b'shas gairis. If he was makabel to be Ashkenaz. But other than that, no such a thing. You're not taking off from a tree. So basically, you're coming from somewhere. So therefore, we are Ashkenaz or Sfard. So we cannot rely on Sfardim. In the Sfardim, we cannot rely on our psukim. Except when the Remut accepts the Bas Yosef, or the Bas Yosef accepts the Remut. So that's a whole different subject, which is how Psak works, which I gave it brief in the first year, because I want Taka, people should understand how Psak works. Because somebody asks, how could it be? Oh, the law, it's not, in other words, it's not black and white, a lot of things. That means it's black and white Shulchan, but the Shulchan itself tells B'mukim Atchak, B'mukim Atzoyrech, and the Chashabos you have it constantly. B'mukim Atzoyrech, you could rely on that voice, but you have. That's why you have to have ask a rov, a moiraru b'poi, like the Rabbi used to say, because he has the knowledge and the shimush. This is even more important. The experience and sitting by all the Rabbanim, see you cannot take, you have to know what you could.
Yeah, but if somebody doesn't know what they are, that's what you mean. Which one do you follow?
You are Ashkenaz or Sfard. What are you?
Where you come from, it's not.
Or you have to choose. Maybe make your own choice.
No. What is before? You can choose. What is your family tree? Are you coming from Ashkenaz Jewry or are you coming from Sephardic Jewry? You're coming from one of these. And if you're coming in Yemen, then you come to Rambam. So you have to know where your origin is. Today's day is the what? Jerry goes to the husband. Yes. So when an Ashkenazish girl marries a Sephardic boy, and the boy eats rice on Pesach, she can eat rice.
But doesn't Lubavitch not take on Sephardi hugging?
We don't. We are Ashkenazi Jews. It's also a mistake which people make. We are not Svardim. We are Ashkenaz. We daven nisach Svard, and we have some hugim of Svard, but we are Ashkenazi Jews. In Psak, we take Ashkenaz. We don't take Svard.
Like if someone's from a Sephardi family, but then they become Chabad.
Okay, they changes. Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's also a different subject we have to go in.